So one good thing about CVTs is you don't have to worry about shift points and all that from traditional automatics or even manuals, because it's just variable. And with this car being smaller, the 1.8 liter is actually quite a bit peppy. It just tends to groan quite a bit because it's such a small engine, but it does a job, it really does. The brake pedal feels good too, very strong. Now, I definitely wouldn't recommend racing anybody in this car, but it does have enough power to commute in. Now, I wouldn't be trying to gap anybody or anything like that, but it gets the job done. But these really are meant for in-town drives, things of that nature, because it's only a 122 horsepower engine and it's a CVT, so as you can see, it's still revving at 3,200 RPMs, cruising here at 75. But all in all, ride quality is decent. Of course, it's not smooth, but it's good for what kind of car this is. It really is. For a car under, this car was probably under 20 grand. For a car like that, it's just, you can't expect it to ride like a Buick or a Cadillac or a Mercedes. So it just drives like a commuter car, rides like a commuter car. Now, of course, this will beat everything I just mentioned in terms of gas mileage because it has a CVT, a 1.8 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and it's a small hatchback. Now, one thing I can say about the Versa is it's just a really easy to drive car. It drives like my old Geo. It's got like a go-kart feel. Just a small car that you don't have to worry about hitting stuff with. At least not because the vehicle is too large. But these cars are made to be cheap, to put somebody in something that they'd have to replace or repair after a short period of time. But my girlfriend's grandmother actually had one, well, I think, no, I got rid of it. Had one of these till about 200,000 miles, and she had it since new and just kept the oil changed and all of that, and surprisingly had no problems out of this car. And hers was an 07 hatchback, I believe. So these can go for 200,000 miles. And keep in mind, hers in pristine condition. I drove it a couple of times. It drove great. I actually drove better than this one with half the miles. So that just goes to show when you're particular about your stuff, or meticulous, I should say, with your vehicles, a good chunk of the time they repay the favor. So I'm sure this was not, the oil was not changed as regularly as hers was, and wasn't going by the scheduled maintenance 100% of the time, but still drives well. It went through service at the dealership I borrowed this from. Shout out Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro. And it's ready to be sold again. It's ready for a new home. So I'll definitely leave a link to the vehicle in the description below if someone's interested in it. And these are definitely cheaper to fix than more expensive cars, having just a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder CVT. Now, in terms of labor, I'm not sure, but parts are definitely going to be cheaper. You just got to find the right person to work on it. But all in all, for people who just want something cheap to maybe go 5-10 miles away to work, and they want to have a more expensive car for the weekends or to take road trips on, this will be a good second car to have. Especially since this is easy to replace with an aftermarket radio. You can replace the speakers probably easily. And these are just really easy to customize in general because they're made so cheaply. But with all that being said, this is going to bring me to the end of my review of the 2009 Nissan Versa S Hatchback.